Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Rabia Manzoor and once again we are here. We were discussing chapter number 3 which is measure of central tendency or measure of location. In this chapter what is the context of this chapter? In this chapter we will study the measurements that tells us the center point of the data. We have discussed in our earlier lectures that there are five major central tendencies, which are mean, which is also called arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, and mode. So we were discussing our first measure of central tendency, which is the arithmetic mean. And there are basically three methods to calculate or measure central tendency, which is arithmetic mean. So we have studied direct method and we have studied short method. So in this lecture we are going to study the third method, which is coding method. So, which coding method is generally used when we have both change in origin and change of scale discussed in the question. Like we have something, we have some kind of transformation in our original data, and it is mentioned in the question that you want to perform this kind of transformation. So we use coding method. To find arithmetic mean by coding method, the formula is, obviously you know, for ungrouped data, the formula is x bar, that is equals to a plus sum of u divided by n into h. So you see the main variable in this method is u. So you will transform your random variable x into a new variable, which is u, and this u is calculated by x bar minus a over h. Obviously you will add or subtract some constant in your original data, which is x, and you will divide it with h. You know h is class interval. So this is the formula: a plus sum of u divided by n into h. A is an arbitrary constant and h is the class interval. And for group data, it is modified as a plus sum of fui over sum of f into h. In our previous method, we transformed our random variable x into a d variable, which is x minus plus or minus a. Now we are using both the change in origin and the change of scale. यानी कि we are adding or subtracting some constant and we are dividing as well. So हम generally ये formula इस्तेमाल करते हैं coding method से arithmetic mean को find out करने के लिए. Let's see an example. The following data shows distance covered by 100 people to perform their routine jobs. So there is the distance in kilometers, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and 30 to 40 kilometers. And frequency is basically the number of people. This is number of people, right? So this is the frequency 10, 20, 40 and 30, and we want to calculate arithmetic mean by coding method. So let's start this example. Alright, I have made a table of distance, which is basically classes, and this is given in kilometers. These are the classes, and you have frequency, which is number of people, and total frequency or sum of f is 100. It was also mentioned in the question that there are 100 people which are taken, so that is equals to sum of f. Okay, at first, because we don't have random variable x, which is basically the midpoint in this case, so we first calculate the midpoints, which is x, and you all know that midpoint is calculated by adding the lower class limit and upper class limit, and we divided it to by a constant, which is 2. So you can say that x is equals to lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. So if I talk about this class, this is the lower class limit, which is 0, and this is the upper class limit, which is 10. So we will add these two limits and we will divide it into 2. The answer is 5. So we have calculated the midpoints for all the classes which is given in the question. So this is our random variable x. So first we calculated the midpoints, and now we will change our variable into u. See, there are two cases: whether the change of origin or scale is mentioned in the question, right? If you have already given in the question that this is the transformation that you want to find you want to find arithmetic mean by u, and u is equals to x minus 5 over 10. But then you use that formula. But if it is not given in the question, then you generally take a from a वैल्यू फ्रॉम x. ठीक है, आप जनरली जो a की वैल्यू है वो x में से यानी कि अपने रैंडम वेरिएबल में से कोई सी एक वैल्यू निकाल लेते हैं अगर आपने खुद से इसको करना है और सवाल में कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं गिवन u की. और h obviously class interval होता है. You can calculate it dividing the two consecutive lower class limits or upper class limits. Like 20 minus 10 is 10. So h is equals to class interval, which is 10, and it is obvious. You can see it from the classes. Age is 10 and a is taken from x variable. So now you will transform your random variable x into a new variable, which is u. ठीक है, सो आपने क्या करना है, आपने अपने हर x के वेरिएबल को u में ट्रांसफॉर्म कर लेना है. x की हर वैल्यू में से 5 माइनस करेंगे, उसको 10 पे डिवाइड करेंगे, तो आपके पास u आता जाएगा. राइट, सो यहाँ से आपने u निकाल लिया एंड उसके बाद आपने fu निकालना है, फाइंड करना है xu, fu. So u को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे f से, so you will get the answer one by one. All right. So I have just changed the table because there was a little bit mistake in the calculation of u random variable. So we calculated ui by using this formula. We subtracted 5 from each value of x and then we divided it by 10. So we are using this variable, we are using a, and we are using h. So this is the answer. This is your new random variable, which is a transformed random variable. Now you will find fu because you need two sums. According to this formula, you need sum of fu there and you need sum of f. You already have sum of f, which is 100. So you see sum of f is 100. We just need sum of fu. Now we will multiply f column with the u random variable, and this is the product. Okay, so we will simply multiply these two these two columns, fu, and the sum of fu is 190. You see, there is a little bit correction. Sum of fu is 190. A is it's not 15. A is 5, and h is 10. Right? So a is 5. See, it is 5. Right? A is 5, sum of fu is 190, sum of f is 100, and h is 10. So we just have transformed the random variable x into u variable, and we have calculated sums. Now we will just substitute the values in our above formula. A is 5 plus sum of fu, which is 190, sum of f is 100, and h is 10. And we just calculated and the answer is 24 kilometers. So you see, you have learned how to calculate arithmetic mean by direct method, short method, and coding method. Let me tell you one thing. If you have a random variable, if you have a data, either it is ungrouped or grouped. अगर आपने कोई भी तीनों में से मेथड इस्तेमाल किया है, either it is direct, short, and coding method, arithmetic mean का आंसर वही रहता है, वो चेंज नहीं होता. So आप कोई सा भी formula use करें, it's up to you whether it is given in the question or you can choose it by yourself. So you can calculate arithmetic mean, and the answer from each method will be the same, right? I am sure आपको understanding clear हो गई होगी. You can solve the exercise questions which is chapter number 3. See you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.